Oh, look at that, the beautiful, beautiful lens of truth. I should probably equip it. I was going to say, you're completely useless because we still have to 100% this dungeon because 100% run. But I mean, it's useful because it's useful in this dungeon as well, and just generally, we need it to complete the game, and I'm rambling again. By the way, hello everyone, I'm Tessellating Hexagons. I still hate this dungeon, but in the last episode I put on my big boy pants and actually blasted through the required part of the dungeon with no trouble whatsoever. I think the deal with this is, this game, certainly the Master Quest, relies on players having played the original and thinking, okay, I know how to get through the bottom of the well, I just need to go to this room and fight this boss, then everything's yum and yes. And so you go and do that, and then you don't get the reward you're expecting and think, well shit, what do I do now? I've used all my small keys and I didn't get the item that I needed. Well, hang on a minute, is there a... Okay, that's how the Lens of Truth works. You turn it on, you can see... It dispels illusions, so visible things become invisible as appropriate and vice versa. Anyway, this is kind of what I've been building up to. By the way, the walls and the ceiling are made of skulls, that's just one thing to note. But yeah, this would be the boss of this dungeon, the overall boss. Look at that, look how dickishly that key is hidden. Under a bombable piece of thing embedded in a wall. But yes, I hate it when they do this because loose small keys don't show up on the minimap when you have the compass. You have no way of knowing where these keys are, and I still have that one from the water temple I have no idea what to do with. But yes, this is kind of the unnerving set piece of the bottom of the well. And by the way, you can use Lens of Truth to see where the creature is hiding, which in the vanilla version of the game, you can't do that because you fight this boss to get the Lens of Truth. But in this version, the interns that made this game made it so hard that they made it easy by getting rid of the main set piece of this dungeon. Oh, that wasn't meant to happen. That's how this boss works. It holds you in place and then eats your face. Blasts your ass face into outer space. Just, you want to come back out of the ground anytime soon? Because that's how you're supposed to get the thing to come out. You could bomb where it's hiding, or you could just use the Lens of Truth. No, you're supposed to let one of its hands grab you, and then that's how you lure it out from under the ground. And oh look, the hand is hiding under the floor. Is it just me? I think it's just Master Quest that has these weird camera clipping issues. But anyway, bring down your face, blast your ass face into outer space. I don't know, I heard that expression ages ago, and it's annoying, but it amuses me. And apparently, Deku sticks don't hurt your ass. Can I hit you through you? Apparently not. Whoa, what the fuck just happened? Okay, well, might as well just de-equip the Deku sticks because they are doing nothing for me. But, yeah, fighting this guy, it's supposed to be really unnerving and confusing and perplexing because there's this pale, fleshy thing covered in blood that's all about, molesting Child Link and eating his face, and the only way to lure it out of the ground is either get lucky with a bomb or let it grab you like with one of its hands. And so it's supposed to unnerve you, and the Master Quest team, by making the dungeon harder, or at the very least more conforming to their vision of what a harder bottom of the well should be, have kind of lost sight of that. But in getting rid of this as the dungeon set piece, it adds to the atmosphere, but probably not in the way they were intending. Also, look at how it twitches before it despawns, but after it dies. Because the idea is, veteran Ocarina of Time players will come straight into this part of the dungeon, thinking, oh yeah, I'll just beat the dead hand, get Lens of Truth, and get out. But, as we're about to find out, you beat the dead hand, you open the chest, and you get the compass, which is of no help whatsoever, because the only thing you need from down here is the Lens of Truth, and that's how you progress in the game. So the compass, helpful, but not necessary. And I suppose the idea is then, oh, I shall get as many keys as I can find and open as many doors as I can find and try to find where the hell they put Lens of Truth. And the way they've done it, as I showed in the last episode, is kind of not what you'd expect them to do. Because you have to go into a side room. You have to hit a really dickishly hidden crystal switch and then go into a side room. And is there anything in here? Seriously. And then get past a wall master and a floor master, and then bomb a thing in the floor, then hit a switch, and then come back in here, and then drop down underneath that X. And so, even then, in order to get down there... Wait, hang on, what am I saying? The reason why you want to open the grill that's underneath that wooden X is so you can land on a switch, and then hit that switch in order to make a chest appear, but... You know... Why would you think to try that? How would you... if you get the map and the compass, then you know that there's a chest down there, and you could, I suppose, deem, oh, well, maybe it's a small key, but it's more likely going to be the dungeon item, but there's no chest there, how do I find it? And you'd have no way of realizing it's spawned by pressing a floor switch. And so it's a matter of finding a floor switch that allows you to find a different floor switch, and that's how you make progress in this dungeon. The idea is it wants you to find keys and waste them on doors like these, because there is nothing of value in this room. But since I'm going for 100%, I'm going to do it anyway. Plus... Oh, hello, Gibdo. They work the same way as Redeads. I'm not sure if we've seen any of them in the game so far, but... They do the same thing that Redeads do, and they freeze you on the spot. They can't hurt you if you walk around them, but... In case you could hear my controller clicking... Just spin attack them repeatedly and they can't even touch you. I get that my controller being loud is probably hugely obnoxious. Oh, you did get through to me, you ass parcel, you're dead. But, okay, I'm gonna start with the pose and whatever may be in these open tombs. There appears to be nothing. Okay. Oh yeah, if you look at them, they disappear. I think using the lens of truth on a pose doesn't make it visible, so... The lens of truth isn't flawless. But is that the only Gold Skulltula in here? Because I feel like it might be... No, it isn't. Okay. So there are a couple of rooms we've not been in yet. I'm just in it for the Gold Skulltulas at this point. And I don't know if there's more than one in here. Theoretically, if I just spin attack near these graves and then see the animation for a Skulltula dying, then I'll know, but... Nah, fuck it. Let's just Din's fire it up, because we have the ability to, and I have a whole episode to waste because... I'm starting the Shadow Temple in the next episode, and I'd rather start a temple at the beginning of the episode because that's easier for me, because guest commentators and stuff. Hello, Poe. Oh yeah, that's a weird thing that these, that the Gibdos do. They just sort of... They rise up and fly sideways to get out of graves. Now, I want to say that I'm close enough to light both of these torches with my Din's fire, but probably not. Oh no, I was. That was surprisingly lucky. I wonder if the game knows how to handle this, because... Oh! Wow, they actually did have a provision for what if the player lights both torches at once. Okay, so there's you, and there's another one. I think... I don't know if this is just Majora's Mask or just later games, but I think you can burn Gibdos and then they turn into Redeads once they finish burning. I think? Nope, that's just Majora's Mask or possibly just later games. This is gonna be fun. Well, I mean, Din's fire makes me take a lot of damage, and I have the magic power for it, so... Yeah, why the fuck not? Burn with me, child. Child of the night. Except those are vampires, not mummies. Whatever. I don't think there's anything to be gained from killing all of the Gibdos, or the contents of this room. You'd expect that because you need a key to get in, they'd at least have the courtesy to give you a key on the way out as well. But... I don't think they do. I think this room is, sincerely, completely pointless. Apart from that one Gold Skulltula, I suppose. By the way, can you just stop? And one more Din's fire up your mummified ass. Yep, there you go. You're dead. That just leaves the Poe, and I don't think there's any reason for us to fight it, but I'm going to anyway. Is there really nothing else of value in here, because I cry all of my sads? Even though I made a mental note when playing the Master Quest version, the 3DS version of this game. Oh, you get hearts by jumping over the graves. That's slightly morbid. But I want to say that there might be... Yep, the lens of truth has no effect on pose, which makes no sense because it's supposed to make the invisible visible and vice versa. Well, not vice versa, but... Supposed to make things that should be visible, visible. I pressed B! What is it with this game and using the decline button to say actually yes? Now, these things appear in the Shadow Temple as well as entities, and there's at least one instance where you can blow them up in the Shadow Temple, but nope, okay, these are just things that are here. Well, we still have one more room to look at. And apparently there are only 2 small keys in this entire dungeon. Well, apparently I was grossly misremembering. Honestly, I think this playthrough of this dungeon, like my experience of it here and now, kind of sells the experience short, if only because I came into it knowing what to expect. Now, oh, this door is just already open. Okay, that's not good. So, enemies can be invisible, walls and floors can be visible and invisible. Enemies and walls and chests can be invisible, but still present. So, just a thing to consider. Spider, don't. Oh god, Undertale, it pervades even the most classic of games. And then kill you. I think we've encountered invisible enemies before, but this is the first time we can actually see them. And you might be able to see underneath this grave, there's a Skulltula, and I'm going to kill it first, because I don't trust it to... Like, I don't trust the grave to not be in its hitbox. Like, I don't trust being able to pull this grave without taking damage from the Skulltula, and somehow the token pops out of the grave anyway. Well, are we done in here? Because that would be kind of underwhelming if we are. Okay, I don't know whether to be glad that we're done here or not, because in the space of... Essentially, in a combined 20 minutes between last episode and this episode, I've done everything down here apart from the Gold Skulltulas, which I don't know where they are. Also, tiny little hands rising out of that pond of death. That's nice. Nope, 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 hand no. I reject your hand jobs. And more invisible enemies. Gold Skulltula, just what I was looking for, and also another hand. Again, do not want. Oh yeah, you can't do magic-powered spin attacks whilst using the lens. You can't consume... You can't use more than one magic-consuming item at once, and wow. Wow. I was dreading and hyping up this dungeon to fuck and back, and... This was easy. Perhaps it's because I knew what to expect, and I am noping out here now. I do not want to walk out of this temple, or dungeon, whatever. I've done everything I need to, I'm done here. I think it's only because I knew what to expect that I had such an easy time of it there. Because that's a difficult dungeon in Master Quest. Like, in Master Quest, that is far and away the hardest dungeon, which, huge juxtaposition, because the vanilla version is atmospheric but not that bad, and the Master Quest Water Temple is piss easy compared to its notorious counterpart from the vanilla version. And I suppose, like, I do want to set it to nighttime and do a thing in Castletown now that we have Lands of Truth, because I want to fill time, but there's also something else that I want to do here as well. And it would be beneficial for me to refill my magic as well, so I kind of want to cut, but at the same time, I suppose I'll show you this one thing that I want to do here, and then cut to the other thing I want to show off, and then re-meet you in Castletown to show off the other thing. You'll see what I want to do in a moment, but we'll begin by returning to the Din's Fire Fairy Fountain, because we're going to make this fairy make good on her promise that she can heal our wounds if we visit her, and plus, it's nice to pay her a visit anyway, because we've not seen Pointy Tits McGee since... Well, we've not seen this one since we got Din's Fire. So, it's nice for us to pay our respects and drop in and look at those savage tits. Yes, soothe my wounds with your boobs. Undo my calamities using your memories. Adjust my bust before I combust. Anyway, I needed to refill my magic for a thing that I want to show off. And also, I wasn't getting low on hearts, but I'm rambling. I will just cut to a bit that I want to show off, so see you in just a second. Okay, you join me in Hyrule Castle grounds, and oh no, the sun's rising. This was poorly timed. But I'm trying to find a hole in the ground, and it only reacts to the Song of Storms, so not bombs. And yep, there we go. Now, this hole, you can use it to perform a really broken glitch, which I exploited the fuck out of when I played this game as a child, and I believe it still works in the 3DS version. I'm not going to demonstrate it for the purposes of this playthrough, but it's helpful if you're not good at finding Skulltulas, because there's a Gold Skulltula down here, and with the boomerang you can actually It's hard to describe how it works, but... And also, sorry, I keep using the Lens of Truth, it's just... I know there's a hole like this somewhere that has an invisible Skulltula, giant one that does the hurty pain in it. But how it works is, you kill this Skulltula, and then you lock onto its token thing. Then you get it with a boomerang, but as the boomerang comes back to you, you backflip into this panel of light here, and that way, you get to keep the token, but the Skulltula isn't counted as dead, so you can come down and keep doing that repeatedly to get this token over and over and over again, which means that you can get over 100 Skulltula tokens. So we have 50 right now, but you could use that glitch and just get that same token over and over and over and over and over again, and you could just cheat the system like that. I'm not going to, but that is a glitch that I used to be really good at. But anyway, I'm hoping that it doesn't count as daytime just yet, because I want to go back into Castletown and do a Castletown thing, which we could have done earlier, but it's made a lot easier now that we have the Lens of Truth. And it's a thing that's only open at night, so please tell me it's not ticked over into daytime. It's ticked over into daytime. Okay, I just had to play the Sun's song 6 times before it recognised that I was playing the Sun's song, but here we are at night, this door over here, and it will tell you to fuck off during the day if you try to come in, and it's a minigame. The treasure box shop. I'm not going to go through all of his text because we are running out of episode here, but you get one key, use it to open this door, and then it's a game of chance. Except you can use Lens of Truth to see what's inside each chest. One has a rupee corresponding to the colour of the room, the other has a key so you can advance to the next room. And I believe it's something like 2 or 3 green rooms, then 2 or 3 blue rooms, then a red room or 2, and then the last room. Typically it zigzags back and forth, but see, you can brute force your way through this thing and just get lucky. But as I said, you could wait until you get the Lens of Truth and just cheese it, as I'm doing here. And that's the way that you're supposed to get through this dungeon. Well, it's a minigame, it's not a bloody dungeon. God, Tess, get good. I'm just getting lucky that all the keys are on the same side here, but sometimes they aren't. And one thing that I thought as a child, when playing through this minigame and using the Lens of Truth, is... yeah, when the keys are on that side, it looks like a fish skeleton. I don't know why. And once you get to this room, you could just take the red rupee and call it a 10 rupee profit and then just call it a day. But every time you complete this minigame, you get a purple rupee, apart from the first time. And also, this is the only chest, well, apart from the other ones in this minigame, this is the only chest you can see inside of using the Lens of... For some reason, the chests in this minigame are the only ones you can look into using the Lens of Truth. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that affects literally no other chests in the game, but that's a thing that you can do, and we have a piece of art for it, and also we can now freely just leave here. Also, I just noticed that there's a gold room at the end, and then a red room, and then 2 blue rooms and 2 green rooms. The only... Wait, what colour is missing? There's a... Oh, right, yeah, duh. If there was a purple room, then you'd have all the colours of Wario Land 4 in here, because we've got Emerald Passage, Sapphire Passage, Ruby Passage, and then either Topaz Passage or Golden Passage for the last room, depending. Well, not really, because I cheated, but still. Now, before cuts, that would be the end of this episode, but I guess I could... I suppose I should get set up for the next episode, so I will head into the Temple of Time and then meet you back at Kakariko Graveyard in just a second, so yeah. And here we are. And of course you'll notice that I went into the Temple of Time so that I could become Adult Link. But yes, I figured because I have a minute or so left in this episode, I might as well open the Shadow Temple while we're here. I think you could come and do this as Child Link, but literally why? So there's this giant arse door. What is it even made of? Probably metal. I don't know, I didn't hear what sound the sword made, but anyway, all these torches, I don't know if the game wants you to do anything different. Well, presumably because you can see the fire medallion on this little hexagonal pedestal. Well, first of all, presumably that implies that the fire medallion used to do what Din's fire does, but I don't know. I don't know exactly how the original of this game was supposed to work, but you use Din's fire to light all these torches. I feel like maybe there should... like, that feels like cheesing it. Like, there should be some other way of opening... I don't know, like... But you can't hold a Deku stick as that... Like, I don't know. But that's how the game expects you to open that door, and that's how I did it. So, in the next episode, we will dive straight into the depths and darky darkness of the Shadow Temple. Blah. See you then.